Hello, it is I, Dr. Brian Norgon 111, and welcome back to Terraria 1.4 Master Mode. Since last time, I've done some work off camera, and I want to talk about that. I was watching someone else's playthrough, and they got an amazing item from the desert. And so I searched the rest of my desert. I guess there's a couple of spots where I might have missed, but with Spelunker Potions, I was looking through the chests in the desert, and I did not find the item that I was looking for. But it turns out that this item is also available from the Desert Oasis fishing crates. And so I was doing some fishing here, and this whole area basically was getting corrupted, and you can still see the corruption creeping in down here. And so I had to dig some trenches and contaminate it and contaminate over here in order to keep this as a desert so that I could do some fishing. And it turns out crate potions actually do something. Like, apparently, according to the wiki, they make you twice as likely to get crates, but I was trying both with and without crate potions, and it turns out that crate potions really do help. But I was using all the best gear, and I got my fishing power above 200, because these are very rare crates, but I managed to get 7 Mirage crates, and so let's open them together on camera and see if I get the thing I want. This we've already had, the Snake Man Charmer's Flute, which basically makes a temporary rope. The Dune Rider boots we've also already had. Each one has a special item. The Thunder Zapper is kind of an early magic weapon. There we go, Bass Statue. Increases defense by 5 when placed nearby. That's the thing I wanted. And I think there's like 7 different items, and so with 7 chests I had a good chance of getting it. Turns out we only got 4 different items here, it looks like. But I did get the Bass Statue. That is the thing I wanted the most. This will go away on its own in a certain amount of time. But basically, it just lets you place this item on the ground and increases the defense whenever you're standing nearby. So it's kind of like the Heart Lantern or Campfire or something along those lines. Speaking of Campfire, do I even have a Campfire out here? It must have gotten destroyed at some point. But my defense is currently 115. If I place the Bass Statue, now the defense goes up to 120. And it is a buff. But 5 defense, just passively, is pretty great. Yeah, there must have been a campfire out here that got destroyed. So that was an item I really wanted. I'm going to set up the campfire and then decide what else we're going to do today. Since whatever the last clip was, I did some work off camera because I was reminded recently about the existence of the Zenith Sword, which you get by combining like 10 different other swords. And I had a number of them. There's a few that are like post-Moonlord swords. But one that I didn't have was Seedler, which you get from Plantera. And so I fought Plantera, I think, 6 more times off camera with the weapons I have now and also the Flask of Ichor, and she seems to be not immune to Ichor. Plantera is a chump. It was not an interesting fight. It was just like keep running away from her like this for a few seconds and she goes down. However, there's also the Xeno something that you get from the Martians that I'm going to need from that. And so at some point we're going to fight the Martians again. And I'll probably do that on camera because I think the Martians will be more difficult. But I've gone ahead and equipped the menacing versions of, I think, at least 3 of my whatevers, as well as we have the Beetle Scale Mail. Last time we got pretty close, I think, on the Old One's army. And so I would like to get that done and out of the way. And so I thought we would try the Old One's army again. Last time I wasn't taking much damage, so I think switching to menacing accessories won't be that bad, especially now that I have this statue that grants me plus 5 extra defense while I'm in this arena. Actually, I'm rarely going to be up that high, so let's actually move the statue like down to this height. That'll work. And I guess on the very right side of the arena. Actually, yeah, let's put it in the center. Now all of a sudden I'm going to get picky. Alright, that's a good place for the statue. I like the fact that it's a cat also, obviously, because Brian and kitties. And the other thing I realized was that I had forgotten to reforge the Ballista Staff. So now it is Ruthless, so it's got 18% extra damage. So that'll help as well. And I think in the beginning of the previous episode, I forgot to mention that off camera before that episode, I'd also reforged, I don't know, a couple more of these things to slightly better things because they were like good but not the best kind of reforges on a few things there. So basically, the point is, I did some more reforging. that plus menacing, I think will give us a whole lot more damage output, and maybe we'll actually be able to get through this. And I'm carrying a bunch of potions, which you can see in my inventory right now that I'm going to use for this, although I don't think I'm going to use it in the first 2 waves. I think maybe I'll wait until about wave 3. That is the current plan. That completely missed. So let's do that over there. Let's have this out here, and right, I can start with one of these already, so let's just throw it out here somewhere. Okay, and it's good that the first wave is easy, because apparently I've forgotten everything about this. Okay, Rainbow Gun is doing a fine job over there. And all the guys. Although I guess I could move it over here and let it do a fine job on all these guys, and then make sure that this is well defended. Yeah. Alright, very good. And now I can set out another ballista. And I think I want to have them more focused near the beginning, or near the center, where they'll be able to defend the crystal toward the end. Because it's the crystal defense, I think, rather than my own life that's going to be the key. Alright, so I'm going to put that out over here. And right, I can also use the Horseman's Blade very profitably, we discovered. So let's do some of that. And make sure none of the flying enemies get near the start. Oh, I'm taking a bunch more damage, actually. Okay, let's be careful about that. Let's go ahead and heal. Healing is a thing we can do. But yeah, I think I'm going to spend a lot more time near the center of the arena this time around. There is another ballista available, so let's go ahead and use it. And I do have my summons out. I feel like I might be forgetting something. I'm not sure if the Rainbow Staff is active right now. So we'll do that for some added passive damage. Okay, but it seems like we finished off that side. Oh, right, and I could be on this thing, which is almost certainly good. It'll also deal some extra damage, and let's throw another ballista over here, sure. And sure, let's get the Rainbow Gun ready to go. Zing! Okay, that'll be good. And then, oh, I think my Frost Hydra just expired. So we'll have it out ready to defend. And let me make sure that any flying enemies get some attention from yours truly before they have any chance of dealing damage to the crystal in the center. And we probably need another Rainbow Gun, so I'll do that, and let me get my attention back over here. These guys are surprisingly resilient. Like, it's not the case that my ballistas and Frost Hydra can just take everybody out. And even the Solar Eruption that I'm using over here, like, these guys are taking a beating. Okay, so I'm going to put one out here now, and I'll do the same thing over here, so that we can kind of thin out the herd a little bit earlier on. Oh, I haven't buffed yet. I totally need to buff. Let's go ahead and do that now. Alright, and buff. Okay, so the buff should help because I will get... I'm not sure if any of these guys... They probably... Ichor probably doesn't matter, actually. I didn't really think about that. I imagine Ichor is useless against these guys. Just kind of wouldn't make sense, I think. Don't actually know that. It's just a guess. But most of my other buffs will help. They'll give me some extra damage output. And some other benefits I expect. And yeah, and then I think my buff should last long enough to get us through pretty much the whole rest of the thing, up to Betsy. Okay, speaking of flying creatures who attack the crystal, let's make sure that we do a good job defending. Okay, and I'm still not taking too much damage, although I am taking more. Let's try to be careful. Get a few more ballistas out. Yeah, I don't know. I need to refresh the Frost Hydra, probably. So let's do that. And, okay, the Rainbow Gun can do some work over there, so I'll do some work on this side. Yeah, here's an Ogre. Definitely need to him. And I forgot if I had a summoning potion, just in case I did, and I can have another one of these. Let me do that. Alright, but yeah, we've got life force or whatever. We've got 600 health now instead of 500. That should help against Betsy. Alright, it says this wave is complete, but I think there's still bad guys to deal with. Yeah, there's another ogre. Okay. And I think until you get rid of the mini-bosses, possibly, maybe you're always at more danger of more guys spawning or something. I'm not actually sure about that. I can throw another ballista up there. Let's throw one up there, maybe. I got something. Phantasm? Phoenix or something? I did not see what that just was. I got something. This is terrific commentary on my part. Okay, he's inside the rainbow rod, so we'll let that happen for a bit. And meanwhile, I'll go over to this side and just thin out the herd. And he's probably getting out of the rainbow rod around now, and so now let's go deal with a bunch of wyverns and then make sure this guy doesn't get too close. That crystal's taken a tiny amount of damage, but not too much yet. Alright, and I'm defending over there. Over here. There's another mini-boss somewhere, because I see a boss battle bar at the bottom of the screen. I'm not sure where said mini-boss is right now. There he is. Alright, it says wave complete. Let's make sure... Okay, I don't see any wyverns or anybody attacking on the right-hand side. Ooh, I got slowed, which is a bummer. I'm not sure what causes the slow debuff. And I don't know that there's anything I can do about it. Looks like it's only going to last another second, though. Okay, great. Okay. And I need to place more of these. That was probably not the best placement. Okay, and here's Betsy. Okay, so I have to kind of defend. I have to deal with Betsy. I'm going to watch my health for when I need to heal. I can throw another ballista down and hope that it's going to help. And I need to heal soonish. Yeah, let's heal. And I don't know if there's anything else better that I could do other than just lay a bunch of damage on Betsy and also try to make sure nobody else is finishing this thing off, but we have a chance. Come on, Betsy. You're going down. Oh, darn it. I took too much damage. Darn. Darn. Is it still going? Could you, like... I mean, this thing, obviously, ended up... the crystal ended up getting destroyed or whatever, but if I had somehow managed to respawn fast enough and the crystal still hadn't taken enough damage, could I come back in and keep going? Seems like the music was still going there, so maybe that's a possibility. I don't actually know. I definitely did better that time around, but I ended up taking damage at the end. So a strategy I could use is once I get to wave 7, I could switch back to my better armor, basically by right-clicking these 4 things, I think, possibly. Let's actually test that out really quick, because I think it'll automatically replace the correct slots when it's the same type of item over here. So I know that this will swap out, and if I right-click that, yeah, it swaps with the menacing one, swaps with the menacing one, swaps with the menacing one. So basically that would give me 12 more defense, and then the beetle mail gives me the buff bonus of 45% less damage. And so I think basically that would be enough to keep me alive during wave 7 with Betsy, and then maybe I would have more time just to lay some damage on her and defend the crystal at the same time. So yeah, I think I just want to give this another go. Let me get another round of potions and also think through the potions I want to use, and I will be back. Okay, a few notes before we try this again. I did pick up some vanity items and some crummy equipment. That's some kind of thing that shoots flaming arrows and a phoenix. Some pets. There's a mount in here, but again, I'm not really interested in any of the things that come out of this. I just want to fill the bestiary. And I don't think anyone actually saw it, but I also accidentally just streamed the previous battle rather than recording it, so I just had to go download it off of Twitch. But I happened to be playing at like 5 in the morning, and so I don't think anybody actually saw the stream. But oops, that's the second time I've done this series. OBS, it's so weird, like the start recording and the start streaming button are right next to each other, so it's a very easy mistake to make if you're not paying close attention. But yeah, I think basically switching to the better armor in Wave 7 will be fine, and I could probably even go through Wave 4 without buffing to just ensure that my buffs are going to last all the way into the Betsy fight, because it was a little bit more than 4 minutes, and I don't want the Wrath Potion only lasts 4 minutes. I don't want that to run out. Yeah, so that's the plan. Oh, and then the other thing, right, I actually do need another Bewitching Station and Sharpening Station out here. Do I have extras of those? I think I do. Yeah, Sharpening and Bewitching. I might need to refresh these during the battle, so around when I buff, let's have those ready to go to make sure that these buffs stay up, because I think possibly these buffs wore off during that thing as well, because they only last for 10 minutes. And I don't think I have too many potions that I'm going to get overbuffed. Yeah, so I think we're in good shape. Is there anything else to do? I don't think there's anything else to do. Alright, so let's do this. Let's put one ballista out. And I guess in the early stages, like, I might as well have, like, the Frost Hydra out shooting at some of these guys on the left-hand side or right-hand side. In the later stages, I think it's better to have the Frost Hydra in the middle to help protect Crystal, because I think right at the very end, protecting the Crystal is going to be the tough part. And I have a feeling none of these guys are able to, yeah, get through the Frost Hydra plus the Rainbow Rod. So I can focus all of my personal energy on the right-hand side. Alright, and we'll get another ballista, and I guess I'll go ahead and leave one on the outer edge of each side. Oh right, and I should totally be wearing... Do you wear a tank? You wear a tank, right? It's exactly the word you would choose to describe riding in a tank. Wearing it. Alright, and just to make sure the Frost Hydra doesn't expire, we'll do that. Okay. We got the Frost Hydra working over there. We have some things working over here. There are occasional flying mobs. The ballista in the center is doing some good work on them. Here's my Rainbow Rod is expired. So let's go ahead and throw it out over here. Help slow some guys down as they try to get through. Wave complete. Great. It says the wave is complete, but there's still a bunch of monsters who have not yet expired. And sure, let's put one here. I wonder if I should put a few more that are kind of like higher in the sky, kind of ballistas or whatever, for helping protect things, but I don't know. I don't want to spend forever trying to optimize this arena. I just made something that's good enough. And that's kind of my goal, is just to be good enough and get this done. And I think we can do it now if I do things right. Yeah. And another thing that's going to be nice about this is once I defeat Betsy, I'll actually be able to use the Ballista Staff outside of this event. And it's like 168 damage, I think, as a weapon. It's kind of like another Frost Hydra, basically. And so that can be useful in other boss battles and other different things. Oops. Alright. We took a little bit of... Alright, I need to be more careful. Took a little bit of damage on the Eternia Crystal already. Let's do that. And that, perhaps? Sure. And I think I'll put the Frost Hydra and the Rainbow Gun out here on the left-hand side. How many more seconds till the next thing? 2, 1, 0. Okay. So we'll do that on the left-hand side. And then I'll go on the right-hand side. You know what? Let's try using the Horseman's Blade again really quick. I'm curious. Oh, I took a bunch of damage though. Heal up. Alright, I can't just face tank everybody, especially in this lesser armor. So I need to be careful of that. Oh yeah, we're in wave 4 and I haven't buffed yet, right. So, at some point in the very near future, I need to buff. Ah, darn it. I'm letting the crystal take some damage again. Okay. I think I can get through this wave without needing to buff. There's a mini-boss somewhere. Where is it? I need to find it. Is there like a mage thingy over here? Where is said boss? I don't know. Oh, there it is. Dark Mage. Okay. And now we're right into wave 5. Okay, so let's buff. That means I can summon another one of these guys. And my Frost Hydra's still going. Let's get the Rainbow Gun out. And let's make sure I'm doing a good job defending. We definitely need to go after the Ogre. And I think he does a ground stomp that we need to avoid. Alright. This is still doing good work over here. Rainbow Gun does not stay out too long, so let's refresh it. Here is some flying creatures. And here's another flying creature. Great. There is another ogre, so let's pay attention to him. Alright, ogre is down. I think everybody else is going down. Great. Let's throw down another ballista. Or 2 or 3. Sure. That seems good. Alright, Rainbow Gun. We need another Frost Hydra. Okay. Those will help things on the left-hand side right at the beginning. Let me work on the right-hand side. There's another ogre. So let's focus on him for a minute. But then also back up and make sure that no one is attacking. Apparently I got a pet. Cat helicopter or something. We'll take a closer look at that because it's actually kind of a fun-looking one. After the event. Okay, and at the end of this wave, I need to switch armor. Don't forget to switch armor so that you can survive Betsy. Okay, there's an ogre over here, so let's get going on him. And let's get a rainbow rod out here and hope to defend. Oh no, I got the slow debuff, which I'm not happy about. Okay, wave complete. Let me actually get through the rest of the bad guys, and then we'll switch armor. Because we still have like 20 seconds, it looks like. Oh, dear. I wasn't defending well. Okay, 13 seconds until the next thingy. But there is another mini-boss who needs to go down. There we go. Okay. So, boom, 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 and then I'm gonna switch into my good armor. Okay. And I'll be ready to heal when we need to, and I need to try to focus on Betsy. It seems like my summons are doing a decent job. I didn't bring a whip thing to make sure that the summons focus on Betsy. And I'm gonna need to heal shortly. Heal? I can even get in some honey, potentially. But I also need to defend. There's so much happening. No, I think I have to focus on Betsy and just hope that I can win. Oh gosh, she's dealing so much damage. I need to fly. And I guess I'll get some honey just in case it helps. Alright, Betsy. Darn it. Even with the good armor. I guess my beetle armor didn't have a chance to maybe get up to 45% defense, maybe? Or maybe I just took too many hits of damage. I'm gonna have to go back and watch the video. I also didn't see what Betsy's health bar was down to. I think we got a lot closer on that one. But yeah, she's a tough boss. Yikes. And yeah, I got a bunch more stuff, but I don't think any of it's new or exciting. So I'll sort through all this, and let me go watch the video of that and see if there's anything else that I can learn that would help me finish this thing off. Okay, so it looks like I actually did get pretty close. I want to get this event over with, and so I read something interesting that I did not know, which is apparently in the Ectomist, one can use a heavy workbench with some boulders and some stone to make a boulder statue, which can be activated on a timer and create boulders that go rolling around. That appears to be a new thing in this update, and might be a useful way that you can have the arena kind of like dealing passive damage. Is that a maggot? It is a maggot. Neat. Dealing passive damage, and so that's a thing that I've never tried before, and it's fun to try new things. I'm just going to throw the heavy workbench up here because I don't really have a good place for it. I just made that now. Boulder statue. Actually, no, I want to make two of them, don't I? So let's make... I'm going to make one for the left side of the arena and one for the right side of the arena, and basically see if I can set it up so that the boulders kind of like start near the conveyor belts and go across the conveyor belts, and so deal damage early to the enemies on the outside, but don't come in towards me in the middle, is kind of what I'm going for. Alright, second boulder statue. There we go. And then I guess I'm going to need a timer to put it on. And so if I need to make a timer, even like a 1 second or 5 second timer will be fine, because apparently the boulders can only go every 15 seconds. I was just reading about this on the wiki. Okay, so in that case I would need 10 copper bars. I would need some chains, which I think are in this... Yeah. I don't remember how many chains I need. And then I need a table and chair in order to make a watch. And then I have wire, and I think it's at an anvil. Yeah, that you make a 5 second timer. Okay, and I've got the grand design in my inventory. And I have some extra stone in my inventory. Yes. So let's actually go up into the arena and play around with boulder traps and do a little bit of science. So the idea would be, this would be a good place also to have the ice rod. I like the ice rod for building in the sky. So suppose something like up here, and put out some lights so that we can see what we're doing. So boulder statue, does it actually hang from the ceiling? It does hang from the ceiling. Neat. And let's see, how would I do this to not get in the way? That might be an okay height. So my idea is to do something along these lines. This would be a good time also to put on the Architect Gizmo pack, just because it gives me a lot of reach while I'm building. But I think if I do something like... I guess maybe something like this with a slope. Yeah, if I had something like that. And then, where do I want to put the timer? Probably doesn't matter a whole lot, because I'm only going to turn it on once at the beginning of the... Look at this crazy wolf! He's doing the moonwalk! Have you ever seen a moonwalking wolf before? That's pretty great. Is it because he bounces off the edge and then is sliding on the ice motion? I'm not sure what causes that. Alright. If I were putting titles on this episode, this one would be entitled Moonwalking Wolf. Alright, but let's go ahead and wire this up with the grand design. And just watch the behavior of the boulder trap. Okay, it creates a boulder, the boulder goes rolling off, and it would go damage a bunch of enemies. And it's a 5 second timer, but I think I read on the wiki that it's going to take 15 seconds for it to go off. And so I think that will be a little bit of extra passive damage that will happen during the waves, and I think potentially penetrate... I forget if boulders penetrate like an infinite number of mobs, or... I'm pretty sure they do penetrate. So yeah, that seems like it could be good. So let's do the same kind of thing over here. So let's once again... Oh, I already have the ice rod out. Let's put the ice rod, get something up in the sky. Ice rod can go back in here now. We will put out some light so we can see what we're doing. we will hang the boulder statue. And then, yeah, put a little slope over here. All right. And so that's something that can help me get through kind of like all the waves a little bit faster, presumably. Wandering eyeball, go away. And I'm gonna have to wire this up. And yeah, I just ended up taking damage from Betsy at the end. I did see, so something about armor. Right now I have the Beetle Scale Mail, which gives you extra attack power. If I switch to the Beetle Shell, watch carefully around my character. Now there's one beetle. Now there's two beetles. And now there's three beetles, and each one gives 15% extra defense. I'm fairly certain that I didn't switch into the armor early enough after wave 6, and so I didn't have time to regenerate my beetles to get up to 45% defense, and so I started taking more damage than I needed to. And so possibly that, along with some extra DPS from the boulder traps, like might be enough to do what I want to do. So I think I'm just gonna give this another go, and maybe like I'll just edit things in at like wave 6 or 7. Yeah, but let's go ahead and finish wiring this all up. Oh, and another thing is, when I buffed, I think I forgot to retouch these things, and it was also possible that I was hitting the maximum buffs. Like, I forget just how many buffs I have out here. Like, are any of these unnecessary? Oh, the Bast is a buff, right. Right. I might want to get rid of, like, the fireplace, actually. Because it's not going to help a whole lot, and it's taking up a buff slot that might be better used with a different potion that can give me more damage output or something. I'll have to be careful, because I think I did reach the maximum buffs and push one of my buffs off of the edge last time, too. I should probably get rid of the Ichor. I was trying to read online to see if Ichor affects the guys during this event. I have to imagine it doesn't. I have to imagine that Betsy and the ogres and different things are immune, so maybe that'll get rid of a buff and then I'll be in good shape. Oh my gosh. I was hearing a sound back at the base, and I just realized what the sound is, and it's amazing. Are you ready? I'm not sure that you're ready. There we go. It's the boulder. The boulder makes it all the way over here before dying. And so apparently, yeah, it rolls out of my base, rolls along the top of this hill, and gets all the way down here. That's amazing. Oh no! The boulder trap got in the way of this thing. Did it do the same thing on the other side? It did. Okay, well that's not going to work at all. Alright, so the boulder traps have been raised on both sides, and so hopefully this time things will work as expected. I'm going to go ahead and start up the event. And it does appear to be working more like we expect now. Let me definitely get in the tank. First few waves won't be interesting to watch, so I'll bring you guys back in as we get further into the battle. Okay, so I'm at the end of wave 4. So let me go ahead and place some more ballistas, and then we're gonna buff and refresh these things. 3 seconds until the next thing starts. Let's go ahead and buff now. I'm gonna do this to make sure I've got an extra, what do you call, out? Yeah, so I can see 3 Stardust cells now, great. I do think that the boulders are helping. I can see them penetrating a bunch of enemies. We can watch it happen here. In a moment. Perhaps. Let's get rid of the ogre. Okay, ogre's down. And okay, there's another ogre on this side. Let's go ahead and leave one of those there for a minute. I just want to make sure there's no flying enemies coming over here. It doesn't look like there are. There's one. Okay, now let's focus on the ogre for a bit. This can deal damage from afar. Alright, ogre's down. Unfortunately, I got the slow debuff. Does that affect my wings? It does. So basically, I'm just very slow for the next few seconds. Let's go ahead and throw down another ballista. Let's put one here. And I can put a couple more down. Let's put one here and one here. Sure. Great. And my Frost Hydra's expired, so let's get it back out. Okay, so it'll be defending the left-hand side. Let me focus on the right-hand side. And I feel like our buffs are still doing well. And this is wave 6, so at the end of this wave I need to switch armor. And possibly even before the end of this wave. Okay, dealt a lot of damage there. I just want to make sure there's no flying enemies sneaking up over here. Let's focus on one of the mini-bosses. Okay, it might have been taken out already. Alright, so let's get to the ogre over here then. Oh, okay. Ogre slowed me down again. Alright, he's taken out. And I've got 20 seconds, so in about 10 seconds I need to make sure I change my armor. Ah, this guy got through. Darn it. Okay. Crystal's in not super great shape. Alright, I need to change my armor. There we go. So that'll make me more defensive. And let's also get in the honey. This will be my only chance. Okay. And now we just gotta focus on Betsy, I think. And let me make sure that these are up to date. Okay. Alright, Betsy. I'm coming for you. I've got good armor. Got a bunch of Stardust cells on you. And hopefully we'll defend the crystal, but I'm going to focus on Betsy. Right now I'm not taking too much damage, so the armor's doing good. Oh, there's a bunch of bad guys coming down. Alright, Betsy's a third the way down. I'm not dealing enough damage. And the crystal's taking a bunch of damage from her. Darn it, I'm gonna lose the crystal this time. Heal! Alright, maybe while the crystal's going down I can still defeat Betsy, and that might still count, I'm not sure. I might not even do that, though. Oh gosh. Betsy. Why? Yeah, I'm gonna die. Darn it. I guess the crystal just went down. So I did manage to live, only barely. I was down to like 20 hit points. Darn. Darn. So I would need more damage output. I used Rage Potion this time. Life Force. Yeah, I didn't get overbuffed and lose any of my buffs, I don't think. Yeah, so my Wrath and Rage, Summoning, Thorns, Endurance, Iron Skin, Regen. I had all the right buffs going, I feel like. Maybe I need to use different weaponry. I felt like the Stardust cells were focusing on Betsy, but maybe I need to use a whip. But I guess I'm just going to have to think about that before next time, because I think at this point we used up all the time that we have for this episode. I definitely am making progress here. I could throw down more boulder traps too. That's something I didn't think about. Like, I just put down 1 on each side. Like, there's no reason I couldn't put like 6 on each side, probably. I don't know. I'll fool around with some things and say, as always, that I hope you guys are having a great day, and I will see you again soon with more Terraria 1.4 Master Mode. For now, bye-bye.